Hey everybody, welcome back. This is your APT certification, Advanced Persistent Threat Certification. We are in course 1 and I am getting you familiar with APTs. So now we have gone through the life cycle, the kill chain. I've done some basic introduction to APTs, showed you a few scenarios, got you introduced to some of the APTs, and some of the sites which show that. So you know about APTs. Now it's time to understand the groups, the scary part, the groups which basically are behind them. And you can get extreme motivation by doing such kind of analysis, this kind of APTs to understand them, right? The first one which I want to talk about is APT1. So APT1 actually was discovered by Mandiant, and it was discovered back in 2010. It is actually one of the most excellently documented ATP nowadays, and it has been tracked, of course, by Mandiant for many years, and eventually they have kind of exposed them, and it was out of the APT-based nature of that, and this APT actually goes back, and our roots are back in China. And it is not only based in China also, that it is also sponsored by the Chinese government. And that is what the thing is. I was talking about APTs. APTs is not something which is, just a single hacker sitting down there. This is a huge government cyber espionage operation, and it has been going on, according to Mandiant, since 2006, but I suspect way before. And they have actually recorded around 150 victims over the last 7 years, which and these are these organizations which say that they have been victimized by this particular organization. All right, and also the main goal behind APT1 is to steal large volumes of valuable intellectual property. Like, it could be your technology blueprints, it could be like proprietary information, manufacturing processes from a manufacturing company, business plans, partnership agreements, you name it. So, and all of these, even through emails, contact lists, anything which is related to sensitive information is what, these APTs and the APT1 has kind of gone through and done damage on, right? Okay, so now the interesting thing is that Mandiant found who is behind APT1. So when you are dealing with APTs, one of the most difficult steps is the threat actor aggregation, if they get aggregated, which by the way, if you want to learn more about threat actor attribution strategies, cybersecurity, threat intelligence researcher, we go over a lot of attribution strategies down there. But the different actor attributions are very important. So basically you need to know who is behind those specific organizations and who are the threat actors with names, the location. Sometimes even law enforcement can help you go after them, okay? But in this case, when there is an organization, APT1, Mandiant found that it was a military-based organization. And this unit is called 61398. So remember that. This is a Chinese military unit called 61398, and it's a full unit. It's a full unit, and it has a battalion with number of troops part of it. So so you can say that just looking at different aspects. I will say, if you see. I have actually a screenshot down here. So if you look at this, you can see there are so many people. Then they're sitting. It's their job. They come to every work. They wear the uniform, and they go and basically they go to office. The unit 61398, right? And the nature here is that they are state sponsored, and they're secret. They do surfing. They do all kind. They've given an agenda. They've launched their attacks based on that, and Chinese government, kind of pays them, of course, because they're part of the military, right? But thanks to Mandiant, they confirmed that they are doing cyber war against other countries. Chinese government, nobody openly says that they have this. They say, oh no, this is not true. Considering that Mandiant to be so basically they are staffed with hundreds of people, right? Thousands maybe also, and that's what, the information which came out. And the persons in the unit are required to be security trained and proficient in English language. And even the mandate information says that there is something that, sometimes the right English language, like in the US, UK, whatever, they have very specific standards, and so that they can find connections everywhere. So, but the interesting is how these governments, how they kind of know how they prepare their hackers for the next espionage strategy. So that's also very important for us, and the same order to know, and the countries. So every country should know about what's going on, and and should be aware of it. So that doesn't matter what country you are in right now. So like China has their espionage unit, and their APT1, and so does other countries have a similar strategy also, right? And also some media presses like Department of Justice actually have been talking to the Chinese army hackers, and they have talked about the specific unit. What I'm trying to describe here is in this slide is that there is not something that just for you to know in the virtual world, right? So the Department of Justice actually accusing and saying that through that these companies, the US companies have been targeted, and these issues are there. These are country-based issues. This is very scary, right? Even though this is the cyber world war, this is the World War V, the next world war, and this is a different kind of a war. Hopefully this won't go to a point, but like people are actually sitting behind their computers, and they are creating havoc. And these are like trained, proficient professionals, right? Okay. Also, if you look at this particular slide, this is actually a cutting in which all the information has been laid out around the organization, around the different attacks being carried out, and how the departments are talking about it also. So APT1, there has been like many victims, 150 organizations in the United States, Canada, Europe, even South Africa, even Japan fell prey to them or got victimized by them. Also, there is a quote from Chinese Defense Ministry. They write after US is accusing them, it is unprofessional and groundless to accuse Chinese military on launching cyber attacks and all that. So no government is going to agree to it, right? And it could be it's very common that Russia, China, even US is going to say, if they are put under a spotlight like that, that forget it, I have nothing to do with it. I'll never do it again, or they will never agree to it, right? So it's going to be like nobody is going to agree. So everybody's going to deny, even at the top level, top brass. So that's the issue these days, and because these are state sponsored, I mean this is basically they are doing it on purpose. But APT1 by mandate, on which it's kind of really sophisticated, and it basically gives us a good understanding how Chinese hackers teams have been sponsored and how it is run by the government, right? Also, another thing is that it is if you look at this slide, this is like the quote from the Chinese government. I've put it in a separate slide. So like nobody's going to say that we guys went ahead and kind of conducted this this particular espionage attack, right? But it is good to know there are actually different I would say units which are part of every country. Every country has their APT team, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I'll see you in the next class.